It's the National Football League on EA Sports, as we see the two teams who fought back in Super Bowl 18. Hope y'all ready for this one. Coming up next.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome, as we come to you from Commanders Field here in Landover, Maryland. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the former Utah Ute, Matt Gay, to get this one started. And off we go in our nation's capital. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off a back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Smith going to go to the air first play. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now Smith. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Bowers. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Just beating the play clock, Smith. And his throw here's incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Throw out left, caught by Mayer. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now a handoff looking right. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Marshawn Lattimore finding his way behind the line and to the football.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Give him 7 on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Decent run, maybe hoping for a little bit more. It does, though, set up 3rd and manageable.
And every play of this run, if it's blocked perfectly and executed perfectly, it's set up to go for a touchdown, right? But I like the way you described that one. Just get into a 3rd and manageable, nice decision-making, and took care of the football.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
The kick by Carlson is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Big yardage that time for Washington. 45 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On second down, another shot for Robinson. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play. And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on 3rd down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Geno now to throw. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. These 2 teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the gun, here's Smith. This is caught by Tucker. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 38. Smith now to throw. Short throw caught by Bowers. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Smith. That's to Bowers once again. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
The kick by Carlson is good, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
Here's 3rd and 3. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They go play action. Daniels. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Daniels looking to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Malcolm Kuntz. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Daniels. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. And now here come the Raiders. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Steps away to his... And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Speed comes off the edge there, Charles, from the end, and he blindsides him.
And the guy who's supposed to protect the quarterback, maybe the highest paid guy on the offensive line, the left tackle, hard to deal with there. Defensive end had too much speed and got to him.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Fielded just inside the 20. And the Washington offense heading out as we eke closer and closer to intermission. Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides. But sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Second down and 3. Throwing now is Daniels. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Daniels. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. But Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. To the air goes Daniels. On the screen, this is Eckler. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screen play is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. This is caught. It's Brown. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown, 40 yards. And the Commanders will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. One more go for this offense in the first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Myers. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Geno. Pass complete right side to Bowers. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Throwing now is Geno. And he will find his man on the outside. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will bring the deficit back down to 3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And able to get this out to the 25. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Now that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd and 4.
Looking to throw. Daniels.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this 2nd half.
Now it's Smith. His throw incomplete.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a 1st down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. To throw is Smith.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
Dietrich Wise Jr. able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a handoff as they run left side. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, they're hoping that the 2nd half is better for him than the 1st half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They need 18 yards here on 3rd down.
From the 50, it's Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the 1st. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line.
They'll motion McLaurin left.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Here's 3rd and 9.
Back to throw. Daniels.
To the right side and intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
The Raiders heading out to take over. And down by a field goal, they'll take over with excellent field position following the interception. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Off of play action, here's Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Ballore came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Commanders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Second half, close game, and we're certainly seeing some exciting plays, but it's really been the defenses. That's now back-to-back drives that have ended with interceptions.
Yeah, the guys on the other side of the ball, as we like to say, the defenders, they've been the difference makers for their teams. And when they're taking their game up to this kind of a level, I want to see what happens with these offenses. Can they match them as this game goes on? Or will the defenders continue to have full control of this one?
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Back now at Commanders Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Up the middle with Eckler. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
And this offense on third down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. A nice little juke and a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
From the 20, here's a 2nd and 5.
Smith. That's complete into the hands of Myers. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll fake it. Now Smith. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Every penalty so critical at this stage of the game as now they've got it 3rd and long. Here's Smith. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
left side. McCaffrey's got it. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Just because you've got the lead in the 4th, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Now Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Off the play fake. Daniels. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Here's 1st and 10. Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Here comes 2nd down. Smith's going to throw it.
He has Mayer complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Here's Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Smith to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Now it's Smith. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, when this drive began, the offense only needed a field goal, but the defense ramped up the pressure, and after back-to-back sacks, they're feeling confident they might keep them off the board.
Here we go. This is 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Well, this is one of those games where if you win it, it feels extra special. But to lose a close one like this, Charles, remember where they didn't score any points in the second half, that has to sting a bit more.
Absolutely, and I really think that they're going to spend so much time poring over this game film, trying to figure out where their calls went wrong, how they didn't execute on certain plays. They were so close. Yeah, this one's going to linger for a little while as they try and diagnose this loss.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.